Alrighty, well, welcome in, all those that are coming in. Let me just get everything set up here for a little bit. We're going to be doing a penny hunt here. This box is actually pretty heavy, so hopefully it's got a lot of copper in there. Let me go ahead and just share this to a few people, see if they can get them to hop in on my mods here. Oh, there's the share button. All right, well, got all that shared out to a couple people. Hopefully we see them come in. A couple of those are my mods. And without further ado, we'll go and get into this, and hopefully people start hopping in. When you come in, let me set up a Q&A here. All right, got a little Q&A up there in the corner for those that would like to participate. What is the oldest U.S. cent you have found or owned? So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into this box. I got this from my bank. I don't know why it says Cape on there, but maybe that's just from somewhere they got it from. But it's definitely heavy, so hopefully it's got some good copper in it. So we'll go ahead and get into it. Open it up. Hopefully it's not all new, because if it's all new, well, this may be a little bit shorter of a hunt than was originally planned, because I don't really have anything else to switch over to, except I may have some nickels and stuff we can go through under a scope or something. But from 1985, okay, that's pretty cool. All right, let's see here. Make sure these aren't. Oh yeah, these are. Got some circulated ones in there. So what we're going to do tonight, just to kind of keep it short, we're going to go through 10 rolls, and then we'll check them underneath the scope, any of them that we need to check for like errors and stuff. And that's probably what we're going to do tonight. And I'm probably going to do that tonight or tomorrow night. I'm going to do another live tomorrow night. Or if I'm feeling up to it, I may do 15. We just can't do a really long one right now because my wife's about ready to have a baby, and so got to keep it short so she can get her sleep. So, but we're going to do what we can. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started, though. I've been jabbering and a little too long, so. So how's everybody doing tonight? Oh, thank you. And one from like 1950. Nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, when you really get into these coin hunts, I've been doing these for a while now. Now I've only been doing YouTube for a little bit, but the oldest coin I've found was a 18. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was like an 1890. And the oldest one I've owned was from 1818. So I'm just getting a couple of these rolls opened here. We'll go through like 2 of them at a time. So here we go. I got the rolls down here now. And Actually, I should probably move this one over a little bit. Okay. That way we can kind of like take a chunk of this, put here, and then kind of go through it together. Got a 91, 2015 Denver. So those things you can check for a double die. I just kind of look at them really closely. Usually you can tell if it's going to have the doubling in the 2015. It'll either look a little thicker or like, or on some of them, they actually just look super thin because it's doubled this way instead of this way. So that's the way I usually tell. A lot of times I still have to check under the scope anyway, but for tonight, unless I visually really see something, 1962. So these ones you check for the RPMs on the Denver. So we'll set that aside and we will check that for an RPM. 2003, that's not really nothing there. All right, 1983 Denver. These ones, you just check the weight on them. They did make some of them in copper, so we'll set that off to the side. We'll check the weight here at the end. 2017. 84. 79, that's just copper, so I kind of have a little copper pile I set off over to the side here. Put it in a big bucket. 2018 Denver. 2018 Denver, as far as I know, there's not really anything with that one. The Philadelphia has a doubled ear you can look for. 82s, I always check to see if they're copper. So far, I haven't found an 82 copper small date Denver, but I have found an 82 copper small date Philly. They're not as rare, but they are still a couple of bucks. So, especially in nice condition. I actually have one here from the last hunt that I did. That's pretty nice. 82 small date copper. It's probably worth like, I don't know, maybe $1 or $2. But hey, $1 or $2 is a lot more than a penny. So, 72 Denver. These ones you can check for a double die. Really, the only double die that's of value is the one that's really severe, and you could see it like right in front of your face as soon as you pick the coin up. It's pretty severe doubling. The other ones are pretty minor, worth maybe $1 or $2. So kind of hard to sell unless you have like a pile of them and you're selling them as a package deal, or it's in just really, really nice condition. I still set them off to the side and I check them. Just kind of helps my eye practice and stuff. 1963, we can check for the doubling on the 3. So we'll set that off to the side. 76, that one's just copper. 87. 2018, 95. Here's an 82. 82 copper. Toss this pile down here. Nothing there. I don't know where that nickel came from, but okay. A random nickel landed in my lap. 2020, 87. Oh, all good, man. Don't worry about it. 2008, 2020. This will be posted on my thing, so if you guys want to come back later and watch it. But for those who want to stick around and enjoy the live stream and just hang out and chat, that's totally cool too. 1970. That one's actually pretty nice too. We'll set that one off to the side. I normally don't check those ones, but there is a double die on there you can check. So it's on the date. 6, 2013. Yep. 2011. That one's actually really nice. I will set that one off to the side as well to check for the double die. I don't normally, but with as nice as that one is, it would be nice if it was a double die. Here's another 83. I can check for a copper. And this is an 83. This one here is actually 83 Philadelphia. So you not only check for copper, but there's a double die on the reverse on these that you can check for. I checked for both of those. I haven't found a double die yet, nor have I found a copper. So either one of those would be awesome. All right, we'll get into the second pot of the stack here. 88, 2000 something, 89. Looks like 1992 Denver. So this one here, you're going to look for the close AM. Which I have not found one of these ones yet either. Where did I do with my... Oh, it's right over here. My little coin magnifying glass. I can check these really quick. These are pretty quick, so I don't usually set them down to check later. Okay, that is a wide AM, so not what we're looking for. All right, let's get back into this. 99, we're looking for a wide AM on these. That is a close AM. 2015 Denver, looks like normal thickness. Here's another 99, if I could not drop it. That one's clean enough, I can tell right off the bat that's a close AM. So not what we're looking for. 79, that's copper. 2000, 88, 85. A 68, is that a 68S? I don't think I have one of those yet. That is one I think I need for the book. That is a 68 San Francisco. All right, well, I am going to go ahead and add this one over here because I'm pretty sure I need that one for the book. So we may have an addition. $19.59 Denver. That's an older copper there. It's actually the first year of the Lincoln Memorial Cent. So wow, that's a nice 1966. Go ahead and add that over here. Check it. It's got a double die on the obverse and the reverse to check. 98 Denver. 2019, 2020. 2015 looks pretty normal. I don't see anything on there. That's fancy schmancy. There's another 92. That's definitely a wide AM. 1972. That's got some little bit of like a greasing out on the 19 there. 86. 89. 94, usually look for doubling on the back pillar here. Look, if I can get it up where you guys can see it. It's going to be on this last pillar here. This one does not have that, but that's kind of where you look. So I have yet to find one of those either, so okay. Hopefully someday I will find one because that would be awesome. Somebody I know found one recently, so they definitely are still out there. 1976. 92 Denver, that's a... No, wide AM. The obverse on it looked kind of interesting. 83 Denver, so we'll check that for the weight on it later. See if it's copper. 78 Denver, all right. Go ahead and get into the next roll. Welcome in, everybody. When you come in, if you could check the question up there on the top left. You can answer it down in the chat. Introduce yourself. Say hi, and if you have any questions, just feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to answer. Or if you want to just hang out and watch, you're welcome to do that too. It just makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself and I'm a little less crazy when I'm... I think that's a 64 Denver. That is like a really light strike on the Denver, but we'll check it. I know there's like a really nice... That's another really nice 2011, so we'll check that one for doubling. 74. Hopefully I'm holding these in a good spot. Maybe I need to move forward a little bit. Maybe I need to move my phone back. Can you guys see okay? Does everything look pretty good visual-wise? You guys see the coins I'm looking at? So that's a 1988. Normally you'd check the reverses on these. You'd look at the FG and see if it matches the reverse on an 89. There's a couple other markers you can look at. The biggest giveaway is the FG. You can also look at the word America and states. The spacing will be a little bit different. I have a few of each of them, so it's not one I normally look for anymore. So I usually just throw those back into circulation. There is a little bit of value to them, especially if you get a really nice Denver. Or no. Yeah, the Denver. If you get a really nice Denver one, they can be pretty valuable. But you would need to send it off to get graded. A 72S. We're getting a lot of San Franciscos tonight. I normally get a few San Franciscos, but this has been like one after the other almost kind of thing. 1998. America. It's just regular close AM. 73 Denver. Nothing to check on the Denvers. The 73 Philadelphia's have a double die you can check for. 67. 67s do have a double die we can look at. Or see if they have one anyway. That 92 was a wide AM, right? Yeah, it's a wide AM. 72 Denver. That one's kind of got a... just the way the lighting was looking at it made it look almost blurry, like it could have been a double die, like one of the big double dies, but no go tonight. That would have been awesome. Well, we still got a couple more rolls we got to go through for tonight. What is that, a 95? Oh, that is hard to read with that toning. But it's not a double die. The 95s you can check for doubling as well. Really, the only one that's valuable is going to be that big double die, where it's got the really wide doubling on it. The other ones, I mean, there's value there, but it's just not as valuable. So a lot harder to sell because people aren't really looking for them. My watch is telling me it's about to die, but that's all right. I don't need my watch tonight. Yeah, looks like we're getting a pretty good amount of copper. This might be a bit of a better copper hunt, I think, hopefully. So... knock on some wood. Hopefully it keeps up. 96, 2002, 78. Hopefully I keep finding some San Franciscos. I could use some, that's another 2011 I can check. It's in nice enough condition. 1983, well I can tell right now that one's not copper. It's very zinky. And it's in rough enough condition. I'm not even gonna bother checking it for the double die. That 82 was copper. Not a small date, but it was a Denver. So one of these days I'll have a Denver, I'll toss it down and it'll ring and it'll be a small date copper. And I'll be like, woohoo, and super excited and make a ton of money. Wow, that 1960 Denver has seen better days. There is a large date over small date you can look for in these. Really cool looking. I have not found one yet. This one is definitely not one. So it's just going to go right into the copper. Oh, here's an 82 Denver small date. Is it going to be copper? Let's find out. Absolutely not. That is as dull of a thud as you can hear anywhere. So that is just going to be zinc. Ooh, look at that. That is a nice, shiny 1962 Denver. That's in really nice condition. That definitely could be an upgrader for the book. I'm not going to put that in the pile of the 62 Denvers, but I'm going to put it up above. So we'll still check it for the D over D. But definitely going to be checking, or definitely be checking it against the book. So 73 Denver, 1990, another 73 Denver, 2015, 1999 Denver, bunch of 2020 Denvers, 2003, 2020, 96. Now I'm not going through it, I'm not covering all the double dies, obverses or reverses. There are so many of them out there that it would be extremely difficult to cover all of them in one live or in one video. I've pretty much gone through and just kind of, there's some that I've just remember because I've hunted them before, or I've found them. And there's other ones that I just know because they're really popular ones. And there's even some less common ones that I know just because, why not? And I've been doing some of the research and stuff, but yeah, that's just a wide AM there. And yeah, these are all just going to be nada. All right, let's get into the next roll. Have not had a wheat penny yet, surprisingly. We've had a lot of good copper and a really nice 1962 Denver. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be an upgrader for the book. So that'll be nice to check. (2020, 2019). 96. Oh, here we go. We got our first wheat penny here. Obverse facing 1951 Denver. So we will go ahead and add that one to our wheat penny area. That's not too old of a wheat penny, but hey, I will take any wheat penny I can get. So 89, 2017. 2007, 1976, 95. That one kind of looked a little. No, it's not a double die. It's just all scratched up. 64. 82. I'm gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably copper. 64 Denver. Right there. One of these days I do need to get a little bit nicer of a camera set up, but right now money is not for me. It's for the baby. But I do have an announcement tonight for those that are interested. I will be going and picking up a box of $50, so we will be doing our first $50 hunt. So that'll be exciting. I'm hoping to do that this weekend. Not going to make any for sure promises because the baby could come any day now. And so There's no guarantees, but if at all possible, I will try to do the penny hunt sometime this weekend. So, but the baby's due, well, basically this weekend, so could be any time now. So, yeah, that's exciting. Very nervous, but hey, hopefully everything goes well. And there'll be a little me running around here in the next little bit. So, all right, 1976, 91. What is that? 93, 2018. Oh, that's a 2018 Philadelphia. Nope, no doubling on the ear. So in the 2018 Philadelphia, to check for the doubling on the ear, really just kind of look at it. It'll look like almost like instead of the ear being rounded, it'll have like a sharp triangle, and that's how you can tell it's doubled. It's pretty easy to see without a coin scope for the most part. They do have some lesser doubles that you can see that if you look underneath the scope, you can see they aren't recognized by PCGS or anything, so you would never be able to get it accredited. For white AM, but they're still fun to find. I found one. 1973. Oh, that's one I haven't had a 73 Philadelphia yet. All right. Another one we'll be checking. Well, we're making a pretty good pace here, I think. We're only at about 30 minutes in. We'll probably go to 15 rolls tonight. And then tomorrow night we'll do another 15 rolls. As long as everything goes smoothly, I don't see why we couldn't do it. 1998, checking for a white AM. Nope, that is a close AM. If I find another 2000 or 98 or something, I can cover what the markers are you're looking for. It's a 74. Somebody wrote on that 74. It's kind of interesting. Put a little bit of shiny green pen. It's another 79. There is a... That's a 74. I was going to say on the 79 there's a RPM you're looking for, but it's only on the ones where you can clearly see the opening in the center of Denver, or the Denver mint mark. See how, like, if you look, I don't know if my camera picks it up well enough, but if you look at the D, how you can see like it's open in the middle. 99% of the 79 Denvers that you'll see, it'll be all filled in with like a die chip almost. So it's only on the few, it's only on the few that it's not filled in and it's open like that, that you'll be looking for the D over D. I haven't found one yet. I haven't really looked too hard, but I rarely ever see one without a filled in D. So it's been... There's a 2000 Denver. I'll just show it off this one. This one's not going to have it because the 2000 Denver does not have a white AM. But your key markers you're looking for is one, well, you're looking for a big gap between the A and the M, a noticeable gap. You'd see a nice shiny line going between them, even without a magnifying glass. Now, if you have bad eyes, like I do most of the time, with the lighting I have here, it actually helps a lot for me. Makes it kind of really shine off the surface. In the word states, the A and the T on both sides, with a wide AM, the A is going to be closer to the T to the right of it. So it'll almost be like touching. Well, right here, they're evenly spaced on the close AM. And then the ER in America will also be, the gap spacing will be different. So that's the kind of stuff you're looking for to help identify it. and help I verify it, because I've actually had one that the A and the M were not touching and there was a gap, but the other markers did not match up. And what that is somebody had fun with a jeweler's tool, and they modified the coin to make it have that. I've seen tons of modified coins that are people have made to look like error coins. Unfortunately, people do counterfeits and stuff, but I don't know really why they would do that. The white AMs really do not have a ton of value. I mean, you're talking in lower grades, ungraded, like 10 to 20 bucks. Really not, I don't know, I wouldn't want to spend the time to try and counterfeit something for that kind of money. Now, higher grades, graded and verified, yeah, those go for some good money, but there ain't no way you're going to get that, you know, authenticated or recognized or whatever by PCGS, by, because they'll see all the little markers. They have much more powerful scopes than I do. Here's a 2000. It's a close AM. So yeah, 93, 1969 out of Denver. Nice and crisp. There's definitely not any doubling on that one. Here's another 2000. Not a white AM. 73 Philly. We'll check that for the doubling. One of these days I need to get some actual coin mats. I haven't had the money to buy any. I'd like to get the ones that Rob Finds Treasure has. I like his setup better. There's another person who does mats. I think it's like Couch Collectibles or something like that. You know, he seems like a good guy and all, but, and you know, I probably shouldn't be calling him out here on YouTube, but I have his book, his coin book thing, and there are so many like incorrect information in that book. It's scary. Like, and he's selling these things, and it's just like, you got to verify your information. But not to make him sound bad or anything, he probably just, you know, it's a mistake. It happens. I'm not gonna, you know, hold it against him. I just got to be careful. Always verify your information. Especially if you're going to be marketing stuff to people. But I don't know. He's released newer stuff, so he may have corrected it. This was a couple of years ago that I bought the book. And I emailed him and I told him everything that he had that was incorrect on there. Went through. Did he view the email? I don't know. He never responded, so. But I hope he at least took it to heart and decided to really research into it and try and do some corrections. I do like his little informational videos that he does, where he creates, like, goes around, like, shows, like, this year's date and all these different errors, like, that are valuable, that are graded, and, like, that are actually recognized and everything. That's really cool. I do like that. If he wasn't already doing that, I'd probably do something like that, similar. But he does a good enough job with that. I don't need to step on his parade and do my own. But I enjoy coin hunting, so I'm sharing my coin hunting experiences with everybody. Because why not? If I'm doing it anyway, might as well put it online so y'all can watch and enjoy too, right? That was 2015. It's looking a little thick, so I'm going to go ahead and Put that one over there. We'll check it. I'm not for sure that it's going to be double dyed, but hey. Ooh, that's really nice. That might be an upgrader for the book. I'm going to set that one off to the side. 84. 99 Denver. Another 92. It's another white AM. Yeah, that one's kind of iffy. I may weigh that one. It has like a ring, but then it like dies out a little too fast, I think, for being to actually be copper. It's not a white AM or anything, but I don't want it to go in my copper bucket if it's not copper. So I will check it. Anybody in here, you can answer this. Or even if it's not live anymore and it's just there and you guys are watching it, you're welcome to answer it in the comments. I'd love to hear your answers. How many of you stack copper pennies? Like you go through hunts and you just save all the copper pennies. Or do you just search, find the errors, and toss everything else back? Just kind of curious, what do you do? I stack the copper because copper is going up all the time. I mean, it fluctuates a bit, but when I started doing this, copper was like $3 and something a pound, and now it's $6 a pound. I mean, silver and gold go up, and so does copper. So it's just, and it doesn't take long to make a pound of copper. You know, you go through a box of pennies, and heck, some of these boxes I get 5 pounds of copper in one box. You know, 5 times 6. That pays for my box of pennies and then some. So. But, I mean, I do understand if that's just something you don't do because you don't want to be sitting around with copper all night. Or not all night, but, you know, for months and months and months. Because, I mean, it's something that you're holding on to, not really selling. Though I do sell my copper. When I get enough of a pile built up, I sell off a lot of my excess. I usually try to keep a certain amount for myself that I just keep. And then I sell the extra. If you guys are interested in that, you're welcome to check out my eBay. My eBay is the same as my YouTube, which is CoinHuntingUSA on eBay. So you're welcome to check that out if there's anything on there you like. So I believe I do have copper up there right now. If it hasn't sold out, you're welcome to grab yourself some. Last I checked, I think I had 15 pounds of copper available still. It may... Ooh, that one... Let me look at this 94 underneath my little thing here. It's like almost looks like it's got a second pillar, like the double pillar, but it's like super shiny compared to the other ones. Almost like somebody tried to polish it out, which is really weird. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that one under the coin scope. I'm gonna set this one over here. I know I'm like telling you guys this, and you're probably like, dude, just show me. Well, to do that, I have to move everything around, the cameras and stuff like that, just so I can get the scope over here. So that's a bit of a project. So I do that at the very end. So that way you guys, and I'll just show all the coins together, and we can go through them together at the end. Otherwise, I just use this little thingy. It's got a little flashlight on it. It allows me to kind of check it really quick, just to make sure it's even worth looking at under the scope. It doesn't necessarily tell me if it's a double die or not. It's not that much magnification, but it will show me if there's something interesting going on, to be the least. Like if it's something that's interesting enough that I want to look at it under the big scope. So on half dollars and stuff, though, this one you can definitely see doubling. Pennies, it's just the print's just a little too small. That is a copper. You can hear that sucker ring from a mile away. 4. That is a very dirty coin. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I think it rang as clad, so I'm going to say it's clad. But it could be just because it's so dirty. 1870 Denver. All right, roll number 10, everybody. Let me put this way. There we go. Now we can actually see all the rolls there. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're hopping in, please read the question up there on the top left. If you'd like to answer, go ahead and answer it in the chat. Say hi, introduce yourself. We're going to do 15 rolls tonight. We're on roll number 10 right now. And then we're going to do another 15 rolls tomorrow. And then we'll just kind of keep it up like that. I'm going to try and do 15 rolls a night. If I'm not able to do it as a live, we'll do it as I'll make a video of the rest of it. 72 Denver. But I'm going to try and do a live the next few nights, so hope you guys enjoy. And no, that's close AM. 1992, that would be a nice one if it was a close AM. But that is definitely a wide AM. We're about due for another wheat penny here. We've only found 1 in 10 rolls so far, which is not necessarily a good ratio. We haven't been doing pretty decent on copper so far. Though this roll seems like it's pretty scarce on copper. We've been finding a good amount of San Francisco mints, which is nice. For this area, because we're kind of in the middle of the U.S. here, it's kind of 50-50 whether you get a box with a lot of San Francisco mints or not. Well, not even 50-50. It's probably like maybe 10% of the time. But when you do, it's always nice. You usually find a couple of good coins that I can add to the book. Yeah, that's another wide AM, but that's in pretty nice condition. But I already have much nicer ones in the book, so... 82, that's another copper. Got that nice coppery ring. That's a 2017 Denver. I haven't seen a 2017 Philadelphia yet. There's an 83 Denver. We'll check that for the, if it's overweight. If it's going to be on a copper planchet. Alrighty. Should I start from this side or this side? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're going to go this side. Just because that's what I usually do. It'd be really nice to find an Indian cent. It's been a while since I found an Indian head cent in any of my rolls. I used to find at least one every other box, but I haven't found one in probably, I don't know, 10, 15 boxes. So I'm definitely due. I'm due for some Indian head cents, but we shall see. 80 Denver. Well, this one definitely looks copper. That's nice. 82. And it is copper. It's definitely not a small date. It's definitely a large date, but that's a nice 82 copper. Here's a 66. We'll check that one for the double die on the obverse and the reverse here later. 2009 cabin. I don't think that's going to be the double die. 83. That's a Denver. Oh, that penny's seen better days. '81. 2011. 97 Denver. So 1961 is one of the very few years where Philadelphia and Denver, I'm not sure if there's a 61 in San Francisco, but none of the mints in 61 have any errors. So that one is just copper. There's nothing to look for on the 61s. So kind of crazy. '71. Same thing with 71. 1971. Doesn't matter. None of them have any errors to look for on the 71s. If I'm incorrect, please correct me, but I'm almost certain it's the 61s and 71s. So it's like those were the years the head people would stop in and they'd be like, all right, we're going to monitor the entire time you're doing the minting process to make sure you guys are not screwing around and messing up. Just kidding, but 63 Denver. Yeah, it's copper. It's kind of iffy a couple times, but I was hitting the edge instead of on the face of it. Another 2011. Oh, that's a 94. I need to check that one for the... no extra pillar on the back. That is a mangled coin, 2020. Here's an 82 small date. Is it going to ring? Is it going to be copper? I don't think so, but... Oh, yeah, that was a dud of a dud. Hell yeah. And it looks zinc, too, so... '67, we'll check that for the double die. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Oh, this one's got something going on there. Like maybe there's a little bit wider of a coin. Maybe it's a Canadian or something in there. Or maybe it's just a really corroded, smushed up penny. Could be either one. In my experience. '69 Denver. Oop. 69 Denvers, you can check for double dies. Usually they're, I think the only one that's there is one that's like really, really noticeable. So that's a nice 68 Denver there. I don't normally check for the doubling or the doubling on the 68 Denvers, but with as nice as that one is, I'm going to go ahead and check it. 78 Denver. 1980 Denver. What was that? This here? Oh, that's not the coin. Where did the coin go? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, that's nothing. 1996. Really nice 96. 92. Wide AM. Okay. Oh, here's a 2017 P. So these here also have a double die on the date that you can check for. It's really minor on the date. You really just see the doubling on the P. You'll see the serifs on the bottom of the P there. I have found one a long time ago. Yeah, this one's definitely not going to be at the base of the P is pretty thin. It would be really thick. You'd notice it. $79, $66. We'll check that for the double dies. 2006. 2005, 2003, 93, 94 Denver, and a 20 something or other. No Canadians. It must have just been a wide, mushed out penny or something. There's another nicer 1968. We'll go ahead and check that one too. It's a nice 98. It's a close AM. '69 Denver. I thought that was a '69S. Oh, 69s. I was going through those earlier. There's also one that's very popular. It's not really a recognized. Oh, here's a Canadian. 1981. We got ourselves a Canadian cent. Add that over to the side there. But on the 69s, a lot of people like to check on the reverses to see if it's got like the floating roof, missing Lincoln, and then no FG on it. It's not really something that's like recognized per se by the grading companies. I think Annex might, and maybe some of the other companies there, or at least they may have at one point. I have a few just because they're kind of just cool to have in my stuff that I my collection, but not really one I'd try to sell to anybody just because I don't really. I mean, there's not really a ton of, since it's not recognized. 1966. That's actually a pretty nice 66. Looks like it may have been cleaned. I don't know. The coloring does seem a little bit off. That looks pretty nice. Well, that's definitely copper, whatever it is. It's an 80 something, and it just went into my penny contain bucket here. So let's go ahead and grab that out of there, along with the 74 that fell out of my hand into the bucket. Here's a 74. And 81 Denver. All right. So here's a nice 1960 Denver. We could check that one. That one's definitely not going to have the large date over small date, but it might have the like a D over D or something RPM we can check for. There is a good RPM on those 1960s. I don't normally check it unless the coin's in really nice condition because it's fairly hard to see unless the coin's in really nice condition. At least with my eyes, I don't know. Others may be able to see it just fine, but for me, I don't see it very well. There's another 83 Denver. 74. All right, we're on roll number 13. Not a wide AM. 73 Denver. Yeah, it is a 96. I was like, what is that? That's another 83. 93. Another 81 Denver. The 1981 also does not have any errors. So that's where it's kind of like 61, 71, 81. None of those have any errors that you can look for, which is like, but 82 does and 1980 does. So it's like, what happened on every 10 years when the date ended in 1 that made it so the workers actually paid more attention to their to the details on the coins. It must be when the big boss was there being like, I'm watching, I'm making sure you aren't screwing up. I don't know, just my thought. I don't know if that's true or not. My imagination. But interesting to find out. Oh, there's a 2009. Go and add that over here to our pile of 2009s. 67, that's a nice one. We'll check that for the doubling. 75. 2003, 81 Denver. Oh, we are on roll number 74. Or not. Wow, not 74. Number 14. Wow, my brain is not working right now. I was looking at a 1974 down there while I was saying that. Uh, 83, we'll put that up there. Okay. 2018, 96. 2017, another 1983. 84. $1994, no extra pillar. 2015. 2020, beat up 64. All right. Going on to roll number 15, last roll for tonight. So hopefully we find have some last roll luck. Hopefully we find a wheat penny, huh? I sure hope so. 1 wheat penny and 15 rolls. That's not a good ratio so far. So, but you never know. Sometimes they pick up at the back of the box. So maybe tomorrow night's hunt will have a lot more wheat pennies. Alright, we are almost to the end here. 67, we'll check that one. 74, 2013. 62. This one here is pretty rough, so I'm not going to check it. But normally you would check the 1960, the date, for some doubling on the 62 Philly. That one's a little too rough. Probably wouldn't notice it. It's almost more like a ghost double date, like where it's in the background kind of thing. It's not not on the same plane, I guess would be the way to say it. Yeah, that one's definitely copper, wherever it went. There it is. Almost dropped it on the ground. Alrighty. Well, I'd say we've probably found almost 2 pounds of copper in 15 rolls. That's not bad. Keep up that ratio. This might be a pretty good box for copper anyway. And that's only counting what I have in here, not all the copper that's here on the table. So, did I accidentally do 16 rolls? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there's only 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me do this really quick. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I may have actually done 6 rolls, so I guess we did 16 rolls for this one. I don't think I did, though. Hopefully I'm not shorted a roll. That would be not good. Oh well, either way. Let's go ahead and get into... maybe some of y'all can back it up a little bit and just check for me and see later on. Just comment down below. Let me know if I was shorted a roll. Okay, let's go and check these 83s really quick on the scale, and then I'll bring my scope over. 2.5, so that one we're going to check for the double die reverse because it's not a Denver. Okay. No copper 82s. Lame. That's all right. Now, let me get this out of the way here. I'll bring this coin scope over. Come on. There we go. Okay, let me do this and try not to break my mount here any further than it already is. Okay. Hopefully that is a good enough view for everybody. All right, now we're going to check these 83s for the double dies on the reverse. Let me go ahead and get this focused really quick with the autofocus. Okay, there you go. Now it's nice and focused in. Nope, no double die there. Ooh, this one. There's something going on there, but I think it might just be machine doubling. It's definitely too dirty to really tell. I may have to kind of see if I can get some of that stuff off of that one and get a better look at it. Oh, that one I think is the one I already looked at. Yeah, here we go. Ain't nothing on that one. Come on. Going the wrong direction. Here we go. Oh, no doubling on that one either. Okay. So one I got to get cleaned up, but we'll look at that later. Okay, let's look at all the zinc ones here first. Got this one 2015 that looked kind of suspicious. This is a little thicker. No, I don't see it. Nothing on that one. What is this back here? Is that a 20? Oh, that's 2009. That's the... Okay. That's what I'm checking against the book, not for a double die. All right, 2011's here. Nope. Well, that one looks nice and thick, but I'm going to say no. That's not one. Well, that 0 definitely looks like it's got something going on, but the rest of it, I'm going to say nope. Nada. That one. Pretty sure that's just machine doubling. That's not going to be a double die. Okay, yeah, this is one. This is one of the minor ones, though. You should be able to see it. So here it's a little wider here, and then it narrows, and then it's wider here, and it's thin here. Same thing with the 0, how it's wider up here and along the side, and then it's narrow here, and wider here. So this one is a double die. It's one of the minor ones. The more prominent ones, the 11 and the part of the date is also doubled pretty much. This one's got a little bit. You can see a slight serif here at the bottom. Not much. It's a minor one. I'll go ahead and hold on to it simply because the coin's in really nice condition. But normally I would not keep that if it was in bad shape. But that is a minor one that I actually do not have yet, I believe. I do have the major one, the FS one, which is the where it's got the major doubling on it. So, all right, none of the rest of those are double dies. Okay, what else do we have over here that is going to be zinc? That's going to be these two, the 2009s. That we're going to be checking for the extra fingers. That's definitely got a something going there, but I don't think it's an extra finger, but might be one of the double dies. I'll have to check it out. Oh, no, never mind. It's just damage to the... This one's got it, but it looks a little nicer. But that's just normal. Okay. All right, so neither of these are double dies. Now, we can check the 52 or 51 here. 51 Denver. Yep, nothing on there. I was just like checking for an over mint mark, but I don't think the 51's got anything. Okay, so that's a GDO. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're hanging out in the chat, if you would like to say hi and send a message or something. There's a questionnaire in the top left there if you'd like to answer the question. Or if you want to just hang out, you're welcome to stick around, hang out. We're just kind of going through the coins that we hunted today. Checking, these are the ones that I pulled aside to check for RPMs, double dies, things like that. Neither of these have RPMs. So these are going to go into my copper pile here. Next ones are 63s. One of them we're checking for an RPM, which is a 63 Denver. Not an RPM there. And then this one should be a 63 Philly, which you'd be looking for a double die. You'd be looking for a little, almost like a triangle that'd be hit here. And then there'd be another one here. This one, you can almost see a shadow here and here, which is what you'd be looking for, but it'd be more prevalent. So I'm not sure. That's definitely not a double die, but it may be one that was like repunched or something. Yeah, very interesting. Or it may just be dirty and it's kind of shaped like it. I don't know, but not a double die, that's for sure. $64 Denver, nothing there. These ones are just looking for RPMs. There is a double die, but it's not anything special. Really, you're just, for the double die, you're looking for like a little thingies that stick up from the 4 here. Not quite that high, not that dramatic, but it'll be kind of like popped up, and then you'll have like a thing here on the lower part of the 4 for it to be doubled. If I spot one, I'll show you. I probably won't have one in this lot. It's a mush down 9. And nothing there. And last one. Yeah, nothing. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the, I believe that's the 1966s. And we're going to look for the 66s have a double die obverse and a double die reverse that we're going to look for. Double die obverse is on the 1966. This one actually looks like it has it, this doubling here. That's one of the things to look for. And then usually there's like extra thickness here. But it may just be damage. I don't know. It's been a long time since I found this double die. So I may have to set that one off to the side and go through. United States does not have the double die reverse, but we will check a little more on that obverse. It's a little beat up though, so I don't know. I couldn't say for certain. Yes, this one's got the notch here, here. This one definitely has that extra thickness. It's got the doubled portion here. But no, I'm going to pass on that. I don't think it's good enough. I can't guarantee that it's a double die. It just kind of looks like it a little bit. So if I'm not 100% sure, I pass on them. Because if they're bad enough that I'm not 100% sure, then it's not really worth grading. So, not that I really grade anything, but it's just kind of nice to have one that's in a state that's able to be graded. Because then you can actually like see it and really know what it is. So, and you know, who knows? Maybe one day I will send a bunch of stuff off to be graded. I have sent stuff off for grading before. Okay, so this one here, this is definitely machine doubling. Because see how it's kind of flat in the background there? And like there's not like an actual notch here. It just kind of matches up with the top of the D that's higher. So this is what's called machine doubling. So that was one that took me when I was a noob, like really new at this. The machine doubling would always get me, and I just threw those coppers into my zinc penny container, which was, you know, a really bad idea. Luckily there was only 3, and I found 2 so far. I think the third one's right here. No. Well, if I don't find it, 2 out of 3 is not bad. I can return 1 copper to the bank. That's fine. Not going to stress about it. I'm doing a live right now, so. 1967. So these ones, I found these ones quite a bit actually. There's you'll see doubling. Mainly it'll be in the 7 here that you'll see it, and it'll be like quite a bit extra thickness. And you'll definitely see a separation between the two. We'll see if we find one. I'm going to say no on that one. It's usually pretty obvious when you see it. If you're questioning it, it's probably not. Yeah, none of these. So, didn't have one tonight. That's okay. And then what are these ones? These are the 1970s. Yeah, that's definitely not a double die. That one was just mangled up. And that one's not a double die either. Okay. A little bit nicer though. Oh yeah, we forgot to check this really nice 62 Denver here. Let's check that. Not an RPM. It does not look cleaned. Those are actually just die marks. I always like to check the ones that look really nice for like double dies. Oh, something's going on with the ear there. That's kind of crazy looking. Almost like he's got cauliflower ear or something. That is really interesting. Let me check the back of the coin too. Ooh, this is something going on there. I don't know. No, it's probably just machine doubling, very slight. I'm not seeing any serifs. And I don't think this one has a double die reverse on these, but I always like to check them when they're this nice, just to make sure, because you never know. Maybe you'll be the first to find something, right? Okay. Nothing there, but I will definitely be checking that against the book. What is this one? That's the 1960. Yeah, not a 60 large date over small date, and not the RPM. All right, time to go through the 72s. Nothing. Nothing. Nada. Can always check these up here too. A lot of them will have doubling up here. It's just, it's so common that it really doesn't add any value to it. They're just so common to find them double dyed on that. I don't know why they messed up on so many of them, but it's actually more common to find it doubled than it isn't, or than it is to find it not. At least when it comes up to these up here, in my opinion. Like, see, even this one here, you can see it's got the doubling here on the in. So, super, super common. $1973. This one. I don't know. Not sure. That's kind of a... And if I'm not sure, I'm going to say it's a no. Okay. So both of those are a no. All right, and then we had a 68 Denver, and I think I had a 68S here too, right? 1968 Denver. Not a double die. Well, I guess I gotta check the B here. No, no doubling. Usually look for like doubling in the Liberty part there. 1960. Where'd the... Oh, here's the S minted one. I'm gonna check that one too. So I do have a 1968 here, not this one, but I have one that I found that has the D, and then it has like an S stamped over it. But everybody's like, oh, there's no such thing as a 68D over S, and I'm like, or S over D. They said there, and like one of the people's way of saying that there was no such thing as, because there wasn't an S mint mark in 1968. Well, what's that if there's no S mint mark in 1968? But yes, I do understand that after, I think it's after 1968, they switched to the new way of doing it, so it would be impossible to have the overdates. But I'm still holding on to it, but just because it's kind of a cool find. Yeah. None of these appear to be double dies. Well, maybe on this one. Looks like you got a little bit of a notch there on the I. Very notching on any, a little bit of a notch on the R there. But I don't see enough for me to say for sure it's a double die. So let's go check the reverses on these two. Why not? I think 68 Denvers do have a double die reverse you can look for as well. I don't know if the S's do, but I'm going to check it anyway. Yeah, definitely nothing on that one. 68S. I want to check that in my book, see if I need it. Got to drag this video on a little bit longer, right? It's already over an hour. Just kidding. I'm going to go ahead and... All right, this is the last one here. This one's got a little bit of machine doubling on America. No double dies, though. All right, no double dies. We'll go ahead and... I'm going to compare this 68 Denver to... All right, let me grab the book. Right here is where I put them. This one goes... That's the wheat pennies, which I already have a 51. Don't think this goes far enough, does it? Oh, it does. Okay. And I do not have a 68S, so that's going to be an addition tonight, guys. That one there is the 68S. So let me go ahead and see if I can aim you down here. Kind of right over there, a bit of an angle. Sorry, my 1968S. I do not have that one, so we'll go ahead and add that one here to the book. Looks like I need a 69P. I'm surprised I thought I had one of those, but I don't know. Maybe I don't have a nice BU one. The 68 Denver. And it's about the same. This one's got a little bit darker toning, so I'll keep the one there. So add that one back in there. Let's take a look at this 1962 Denver. And I like the color of the one in the book better. It's got a nice redder. This one does, to me, just the coloring does look off. It looks like it may have been cleaned, like maybe at least dipped. It doesn't really have scratches like a cleaned one, but maybe it was dipped. So that'll go into my copper pile. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and call that a night. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all like and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow night. We're going to go ahead and do another. Live with another 15 rolls. So hopefully we'll see you all there. All right, have a great night, and we'll see you next time.